Hello, welcome to another video. In today's video we shall be looking at addition and subtraction of fractions. Now we have different ways in which we can add and subtract fractions. In this video I'll be using the equivalent fraction technique to add and subtract fractions. Let's look at addition of fraction. Remember, I'll be using the concept of equivalent fraction to add and subtract fractions. For example, question 1, we are asked to simplify 3 over 4 plus 1 over 12. Now, how do we add this fraction? I can see right here I have 1 over 12. So to use the equivalent fraction technique, I have to make both fraction have the same denominator. In this case I have 12 here, so I can make these also to have 12 as its denominator. So how do I do that? I will have to multiply 4 by 3 to give me 12. And when we are doing this, we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that same number. So to solve this question, I have to multiply my numerator by 3, so it becomes 9. I have 9. Then 3 times 4 gives us 12 plus 1 over 12. So basically I will multiply this 1 by 1 and 12 by 12. So right here I have equal denominator. So all I do here is just 9 plus 1 is 10 over 12. I wrote 12 because they are the same. So my answer is 10 over 12. But I can reduce this equation further. If you missed our previous video, you can click the link above to watch our previous video on how we reduce fraction. So to reduce this fraction, I will divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. So 2 into 10 is 5 and 2 into 12 is 6. So our final answer is 5 over 6. So that is our answer. Alright, so here we have a next question. We have 5 1 over 4 plus 3 whole number 4 over 5 plus 1 whole number 2 over 20. And the first thing we do here is to add up the whole numbers. So we add up the odd numbers, which is 5 plus 3 plus 1. So we add up the odd number. That's the first thing we do. Next I am left with 1 over 4, 4 over 5 and 2 over 20. Now I want to make sure that 4 and 5, or I want to ensure that I have the same denominator. In this case I have 20, so I can also make the other's denominator 20. So to do that, I will multiply this by 5. I will multiply these by 4. So I'll multiply everything here by 5 and everything here by 4. So that should give me 20 as the denominator. So the first one, we have 5 times 1 is 5 over 5 times 4 is 20 plus 4 times 4 is 16 over 4 times 5 is 20 plus 2 over 20. 2 over 20. Now, as you can see right here, I have all the fractions having the same denominator. So the first thing we do in this case is to add up the whole numbers, and the next step is to ensure that each fraction has the same denominator. So you have to decide what you want to be the denominator. In this case, I used 20, while right here I use 12. You can decide to use any number you want to make your denominator. This method is called the equivalent fraction technique. So what next? I can now add up my whole numbers. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So I have 9. So here just 5 plus 16 is 21, plus 2, that's 23. So we have 23 over 20. Alright, now we cannot leave our answer in this form. We have to convert it to a proper fraction. So we can continue. We have 9. Now we have 120 in 23, so I can do this plus 1. So when 20 divides 23, we have one whole number, remainder 3 over 20. Alright, so therefore I can say 9 plus 1 is 10, then 3 over 20. This is our final answer. If you are wondering how I got one whole number 3 over 20, what I did is this. 20 into 23 is 1. So 20 can go into 23 once, remainder 3 or remaining 3. So that is how I got this 3 right here over 20. So 9 plus 1 gives us 10, whole number 3 over 20. So this is how we can add fractions. We can also add, or we can also subtract fractions in a similar way. Let me show us one example of how we can subtract fraction. For example, we are given a question right here, 5 whole number minus 7 over 8. How do we subtract fraction? In the same way we did addition, that is how we can also do this. Now, we all know that in maths, a whole number also represents 5 over 1. This is the same as 5. So minus 7 over 8. Alright. Now, the first step is this. I will ensure that I have the same denominator on both fractions. If I have 8 here, I can also make this 8. So what I do is that I will multiply this fraction by 8. Alright, so let's go. So 5 times 8 is 40. Eight times 1 is 8, minus 7 over 8. 7 over 8. Alright. What next? We subtract. So we have 40 minus 7 gives us 33 over 8. Remember, this is an improper fraction, so we have to convert it to a proper fraction. how do we convert these to a proper fraction? So 8 into 33 will give us 4 times. So 8 goes into 33 4 times, remaining 1. So remaining 1 over 8. So this is our final answer. So as you can see, we use the same techniques to add and subtract fractions. Here are some practice questions. You can do these questions on a paper or on your computer, and you can send the solutions to this email address, and we shall respond to you as soon as possible. So thanks for watching, and watch out for our next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.